What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Crazy weekends of fights. Today we're going to be recapping UFC 288. It was a pretty good card overall, but anyways, where do you guys want to start on the card?
You can go down further than
Where should
this.
we start?
The
Start the
prelims,
prelims.
honestly.
Started this Dober fight. Or do you guys want to go even lower?
We can go even lower than that. We can go Kennedy. We can go with the Kennedy Njoku.
He had a crazy finish.
Yeah, Devin Clark, a tough out. A veteran, always game, but like I was really impressed with Kennedy in this fight for sure.
Me too. Definitely. He looked good.
They should give him a ranked fighter next.
Yeah, I feel like
Fighters lately.
he came through some adversity in that fight. Devin Clark was able to, you know, have some success in round one. Uh, and then he showed a lot of great improvement in the clinch, especially this fight. Clearly working on his grappling a little bit. So I'm impressed. Like good stepping stone fight for him.
Yeah, definitely. Let's move on to this next fight. Our buddy Nick here was not too happy about the results, but Drew Dober got put on his ass.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else to it. I actually thought Dober was doing well. He's keeping in his pace. He was getting caught with a few, but in his usual way, he just kept moving forward. So I wasn't too worried, but Frivola landed a good shot, and that's all it takes.
Put his ass down. I mean, I thought that the Dober chin was gonna hold up a little better. One more. If I see him get cracked like this one more time, I might start to wave the white flag on his career, on his chin.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
he has a better chin than that. So
that was the first time he'd been knocked out in like years.
I know that's what I'm saying. Like he usually has a better chin than that. So like one more, and I might have to start to look at the. I don't know how old he is, but I think he's like 33, 34. He's kind of,
Okay.
So like we might have to start looking at that chin. He's on chin watch for sure.
Chin watch. Okay. There's chin watch and washed watch.
Washed watch, yeah.
Washed watch. But what do you guys think about Friola calling out Patty Pimblin?
I don't understand.
They're not gonna give it to him because like he hits too hard.
He's gonna sleep Pimblin, bro. Like, come on.
I need to see Patty tuck that chin a little bit before he fights someone that can punch like Frivola for sure.
Yeah.
To be calling out ranked fighters. He's about to become one, so I don't really get the call out, but
Nah, it's just for clout. But anyways, let's move on to this the opener for the main card. I'm just gonna say, like, speaking of wash watch, I don't even know if we can consider him wash, but Kron Gracie did not look good at all.
He's on caveman watch, like literally.
Like, look at this picture. Look at him.
Nah, like literally, like this was like literally OG UFC grappler versus striker type matchup. Like if the grappler can implement his will, um, you know, he might win down there, but if it stays on the feet, he was pretty fucked. He showed no improvement in the stand up in the 4 years he's been off.
Yeah.
Like I was very disappointed with him. Yeah, even when he pulled guard and got Jourdain to the ground, he wasn't able to do anything with it. And yeah, easy money for me for sure.
Yeah, Kron, I don't like these type of fighters. Like, I was never a fan of what was Ryan Hall. I don't really like these super one dimensional BJJ guys. Who's that one guy that fought Dan Hooker who kept going for like heel hooks or whatever?
Boulaze.
Okay. So I just don't think fighters like that can succeed in the UFC.
I feel like the game has evolved past that.
Yeah. Like you can beat guys like BJ Penn and stuff like that and scrubs, but like you can't beat good fighters with that.
I think if you look at Brian Ortega, he's the perfect like model for that, where it's like his grappling was always fiendish, his JJ was always fiendish, and he's had to evolve and let the striking catch up to it because he's not the best wrestler. So it's like he has to wait for some kind of like a scramble usually to get to his world, but or like just like a clinch situation, like as we saw against was it Rob Font, I believe?
I think so.
Standing up, the standing guillotine. But
yeah,
I mean, you have to like evolve your game, mix your martial arts for sure. And Chrome Gracie just didn't seem like he even like tried to evolve in the time off. So he got what he got. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not much to say there.
Go to
Zed
Bellator. You
too.
might have more success.
Hey, I have a lot to say about this because that was okay. And this is just on Crone. Jourdain did what he needed to do. He was actually pretty smart when he was on the ground. But Crone Gracie pulling people to the ground and not even like attempting like sweeps or any submission, like it's just I don't understand that game plan really.
It's
He just
really annoying to watch.
did nothing in the fight. His striking somehow has gotten worse.
I swear.
At least, at least Kool-Aid's and Ryan Hall somewhat use their hands and have decent body kicks, I guess, but it's still kind of bad. But Crone has none of that. He has
I
no
think
boxing. He's living in the old UFC. That's just not gonna win you fights these days.
no,
His
it was a
name,
bad.
I predict his name will keep him in the UFC, but like
One more fight. If he
one
does,
more, he's out of there.
Yeah, one
Bellator
more.
to Bellator you go.
yeah.
Yeah, the PFL will gladly sign him. All right, let's move on to
Fight of the night.
this is
Right.
a great.
All right, let me just start here. Shout the fuck out to Diego Lopez. Short notice came in here and absolutely had Ivalev. How do you pronounce his last name?
Evolev. That's a good. Yeah, I'd say so.
Ivalev. That's about as good as it's gonna get, folks. But had him in trouble numerous times in round 1, round 3. Like,
Yeah.
never stopped attacking. He never, even though he was probably down 2 rounds, never gave up on himself in there. I'm really excited to see like with the full training camp, like what this guy can be capable of. Super glad he's in the UFC. Also glad my fucking bet cash. He had me worried numerous times. Um, but yeah, I cannot say enough about this kid. All heart, great, great jujitsu skills apparently. Like,
Yeah.
really impressed.
Kron Gracie should take notes. That's how you use jujitsu. Like, I don't know. He was just way more offensive. Shout out to Evolev. He also took this fight on short notice. He did great. He did what he was supposed to do. But wow, just what a showcase for Lopez. He's definitely gonna be fighting in the UFC in the future for sure.
Well, I've also got out of like tough submissions, honestly. So that's a test to him as well. Like those were deep. The
Those were
arm
deep,
bar,
deep.
Oh yeah, yeah.
and like he stayed calm and did what he had to do. The what was it? The
Was it a guillotine? What was it?
he had a close one with
Oh, the leg. It was a heel hook.
yeah, heel hook, but he also had his arm and what was it?
Kimura?
Yeah, I think so. Didn't he get that at one point and
I
Evolov had
forgot.
to like flip over?
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. He had a couple of Kimuras that like look kind of, I don't know.
Yeah. But big up to Lopez. He fought very well. Looked good with the hands as well. But Evolov was just kind of too good. You know, you kind of expect it.
Yeah,
Dude,
I think
10th undefeated. So
Oh wait, was this fight of the night?
great fight. Yeah, it was fight of
yeah,
the night.
Well fucking deserved on
I
both
agree.
ends.
Evolov's gonna be a problem for the featherweights. Also, I think he definitely has a bright future.
I don't know what the fuck Bryce Mitchell thought he was gonna do, like with that fucking bruise that shoulder, but
All right, you guys are gonna have to carry this conversation because I was watching the Canelo fight for this fight, unfortunately, but apparently Jan like just slept on Andrade.
Sean Nan. Yo, Sean Han, man. Hey, we're gearing up for that all China main event.
Yeah,
She fucking earned her way. I wasn't too high on her before this fight. I knew she had. I honestly thought Andrade's strength would be too much for her, but it never even got to get into the clinch and strength situations because Yao Shannon, a goddamn sniper, sniped her with I believe like an overhand right or something like that, and put her down, like put her down. I did not really like. I mean, I knew she had power, but like until you see someone knock out like a Jessica Andrade like coochie strength like fighter, like you know what I'm saying, like
yeah.
Amanda Nunes type, like I feel like those dykes have extra strength, and I feel like until I see get knocked out like these normal women, like and like you know what I mean. I have to see it to believe it, and Yao Shana made me a believer. Do I think she beats Whaley? No, sadly, but I think that she is well deserving of the next shot.
Okay, I was about to ask what how do you think she matches up with Whaley? Like what makes you think she won't beat her?
I think that Whaley's grappling. I mean, because like they're both powerful apparently. Like as we see, I have not seen enough. This knockout was crazy, but like Whaley has shown like every fight, crazy power, crazy knockout ability, and just the ability to like manhandle other women. So like I just feel like she literally hoisted up 300-pound Francis Ngannou. Like until one of these other women can do that, I will just think that Whaley is the excuse me most dominant woman in that division for sure. But like Yan Shandown definitely has arrived and is a worthy challenger. She definitely has a shot in that fight. You know what I mean with the power, her distance striking. But I just think that Whaley would still win. But
Yeah, that fight's gonna be good. On the feet, it's gonna be explosive, quick, fast strikes going on. I'm excited for that. I expect Whaley to try to use her wrestling for sure. Jan's pretty tough to take down though, so it's an interesting matchup. I think Lemos would personally be a tougher fight for Whaley though, in my opinion.
So on the flip side, Andrade is coming off of 2 L's. To be fair, she's facing killers. But like, are you guys concerned at all? Is she on the watch list? Like possibly the watch list?
isn't
I
she
don't
like
think so.
20? Isn't she like 29?
Let me check.
I do
I can.
I do believe she's like at worst 30, but I believe she's like in her 20s, like 29 type
Yeah, I'm
shit.
not sure, but I don't think so. Right?
No.
I feel like she just has a ceiling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
I agree.
can't bully like I rarely see Jessica Andrade out technically people. So it's like eh, I feel like but forever in this division she'll be able to bully most of these women, I feel like. So
She's a bully.
That's
but
what she
I think people are skill wise like surpassing her. So like she's getting to dinosaur watch, like you know what I mean? Where it's like she'll always be able to beat like no, let's call it gatekeeper watch, because it's just like
Gatekeeper.
if she did like I feel like there's starting to be like several 3, 4 women that I would pick to beat her. You know what I mean in that division, and that was not always the case because she was so physically imposing. So
100% agree with that.
agree.
Let's move on to our co-main event. Bilal Muhammad wins a 5 round
God damn
decision
it.
over Gilbert Burns. A lot of haters in the crowd and social media, but good performance
Well,
by Bilal.
let's start by why. Because it was a boring fight, another boring win. He's not an interesting fighter.
Hey, let's just call a spade a spade. Gilbert tore his shoulder and like
Yeah, yeah.
could not
Gilbert
throw,
was
could not throw
clearly
the left.
compromised.
Could not throw the left. Hard. He still survivable out for 5 rounds. So like, what should that say? Like, I don't know. Like, but enough shitting on Bilal. We do enough of that, and like, it's all fun and games. But like, on some real shit. Shout out Bilal coming out of Chicago. Gotta respect it. I don't know if I can deny him anymore. Um, fuck, man, the man deserves the title shot, but like,
He does.
it
But
hurt me to watch him
would
win
he
like
beat
that.
Rachmanov in a
No,
fight?
wait. I was about to say,
I'm saying.
um, stop me when you disagree. I think I can name 5 welterweights that I think would beat Burns. I would pick Leon, Colby, Rachmanov, Hamza, and Usman to beat him, but to beat Bilal. Those 5.
Oh, wow.
Am I wrong with any of those?
I mean, like, I personally do believe all of those fighters would beat him, especially if you're talking like 3 rounds. In a 5 rounder, I would have to see Rachmanov go 5 rounds before I can like see what his cardio will be talking about. Because Bilal does like for everything else, especially for all the muscle he seems to carry. He does carry his cardio late into fights. And that is a big factor. Like when you start talking about 5 round fights. So I would have to see Rachmanov go the distance, or at least like go 4 rounds. Like,
That's why Rachmanov has 100% finishing rate before 3 rounds are up. So we
I
don't
know,
need
but the thing is, like, every time you get to a person that you can't finish, and then it just becomes of like a test of will,
no
cardio,
different.
all of that shit.
I think it's a knockout. On the feet, did you see him against Jeff Neal? Do you think
Look
Bilal?
at his watermelon head, though, Clark.
He has a big ass head.
Oh, perfect.
He looks like a tiki totem. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like that man can't take a shot. Like, fuck.
All right, guys. All right. Well, let's talk. Let's not shit on too hard. What impressed you about Bilal's performance? For me, it was the kicks. I thought his kicking was a lot better in previous
The
fights.
kicking, yeah, just the striking in general. Like, he normally has to like really wrestle hump people for large stints of the fight, and he did not wrestle Gilbert. Like,
Yeah.
he really just boxed and kicked him up, like outstruck him like for 5 rounds essentially.
Yeah.
Like, part of that has to do with the lack of a left hand, but like a part of that is just good cardio, decent pressure, and improved striking, greatly improved striking, I would say.
Yeah.
I agree, but it was just funny to me how he was barely outstriking Burns like every round, and like he was fighting with one. Like that's all I have to say.
No, for sure. I mean,
I just thought that was funny. I thought that was funny.
I keep
100% won the fight. I'm not saying he didn't, and he won it convincingly. But like, you know what I mean? He was like
definitely
barely
know what you mean.
like getting.
Um.
Bilal and Roman Dolidze are approaching like the same type of scenario where it's like I keep betting against them and they keep fucking proving me wrong. So it's just like, will I get on the Bilal train? I don't see it happening really, because like now who is he gonna fight? Like Kobe, Leon? I still think both of those guys beat him. So like
You
he
think
might be a gatekeeper. He might just be a great gatekeeper, but either way, he deserves a shot and his chance to prove himself.
Yeah.
you have a? Do you think Dana would do Bilal if like in Kobe if Leon doesn't like
I
go
think
early enough? Because
I think people would cheer the fuck out of Kobe against Bilal, bro. I think
Oh
that
yeah, they would.
he would stop being the villain and instantly become the fucking face instead of the heel, I swear.
But to answer your question, Clark, I don't think so. I think they're pretty set on Leon versus Colby, even if they have to wait till like October. Really quickly, last thing on this fight, do you guys think Gilbert Burns taking this fight so early after his last one was a bad idea? Or do you think this was kind of just a freak injury?
I would say kind of both. One way or another, like the body will break down, and he's not exactly a spring chicken. I think he's like 37, 36.
I think he's older than Bilal.
No, he
He
definitely
is.
is older than Bilal.
He's like
But I would say like on the flip side, Gilbert Burns never really faced that much adversity in his last 2 fights. So like I don't know if he injured his shoulder at all in the Masvidal fight, but I've seen nothing prior to like this fight to like it's not like he was going through wars exactly, you know what I mean? So like I think on the flip side, when a fighter's on a good roll, they keep kind of like handily beating their opponents. Like there's something for activity, you know what I mean? Like he
Yeah.
could have here sparked Bilal, and be having a completely different conversation about how his activity is helping him. So I don't know. It's a you know what I'm saying? It could go both ways.
I'd be in a better mood.
Me
All
too.
right. Let's move on to our bantamweight title main event. This was a great fight, really technical fight. I think the right guy won. Live, I did score for Cejudo, but I rewatched it. Definitely Sterling won the fight. What do you guys' scores look like?
I honestly, I really don't know. It kind of comes down to that what was it, second round, I would say.
The first 2 rounds were really hard to score, in my opinion.
I would say the set. I thought Sterling won the first and fourth convincingly, and Cejudo won
What
three and
about five?
five.
I think Cejudo won 5.
Cejudo easily won
I
five.
think it was Derek Cleary that gave him
Yeah.
Yeah.
five.
Oh
It
yeah,
was one score that like gave it to Aljo. That basically swung the favor to Aljo.
Derek, I
It was
think
crazy.
because I saw on Twitter earlier today Cejudo being like, Derek, like, what gave you like he was just like what he was like he posted the whole round 5 for the fans, and he was just like, what in this round would make you give it to Aljo? And I was watching it, and I was like, more so like than Aljo wasn't landing, but I just feel like Cejudo was like following for large portions of the fight in general and not throwing enough strikes maybe for the optics. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that might have cost him in the
Yeah,
long. I
I will.
really thought that Aljamain probably won, but it was definitely close.
Yeah, it could have gone either way, and I don't want to hear that it was a robbery, even if they gave it to Cejudo. But I must say, Sterling definitely proved me wrong. I was telling everyone I don't see like any avenue that for Sterling to win. Like he's a worse striker, worse wrestler. He has better BJJ, but that wasn't even really shown in this fight. He just kind of outworked Cejudo.
yes, Sterling had the better striking for sure, which I was surprised by. I thought Cejudo would have been a little better in that department. Grappling and wrestling and all that, it's pretty even. I'd say Cejudo was probably better though. I thought he stuffed.
Aljo's just a big motherfucker. Like, let's just not ignore the fact that he's size bullying everyone in the division. Like, let's just be real about it.
Yeah, and Cejudo's a tiny dude, so I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I feel like this is one of those situations where it was like if Cejudo was the champ, I would have been like more upset about Aljo taking the fight. But like I always say, like to be the champ, you have to beat the champ. And if it's a 50-50 type fight, you have to like let the champ remain. You know what I mean?
I feel that. I like that. Um,
how do you think Sterling O'Malley goes though?
well, but before we actually no, yeah, we could talk about it. Man, obviously it's wrestler versus striker. Basically, it's grappler versus striker. I mean, it's really that simple. I'm leaning Sterling right now, obviously, because we just saw it. But like, how the hell is O'Malley going to stop these takedowns? How?
I'm taking O'Malley, man. He's by a knockout. That's how.
The
He's
thing is, I will say this, like I think that I think that O'Malley can put hands on him, and that might sap his damn cardio. Like I feel like I've seen his cardio when he's getting a hit and he's not exactly comfortable. If he shoots a couple takedowns that he doesn't get, like his cardio has abandoned him before. But like a fight like Cejudo just had with him, where he's just kind of comfortable the whole time, never really like getting cracked like that. His cardio held up better than I expected. So I just think that, like it depends on like I guess the early takedowns. Like if O'Malley can keep him off for like 3 rounds, like it could be problems for his ass.
Okay. Okay. How do you think that fight goes, Clark?
that's the fight right there. If he can't get him to the ground, what's he gonna do then?
Oh, he's fucked. But I'm
Yeah,
saying I just think he has a really good chance of getting him to the ground.
I,
Like you could
I, I
take.
think I think he could, but Sean is very big himself. I mean, he is kind of skinny, but he's still a big bantamweight. Like he's 4 inches taller than Sterling, I
That's
assume.
true.
So it's not going to be the easiest time. And also, Sean is very good at moving around in the cage. So I think Sterling's really going to have to press him.
He ought to get in the gym, man. I'm not gonna lie. O'Malley better get in the fucking gym. Like get on his grindy shit. Get embrace the grind, because like I don't think that like Aljo can do enough in one camp to bridge the striking gap. But
No.
with that being said, like work your defensive wrestling to death. I feel like, and get used to once like after your grappling sessions. Like have a striking session after your grappling sessions, because like the lactic acid will be in those muscles. So like you need to still remain with some pop on your strikes late into the fight if you
That's a
want.
really good point. All right. Before we wrap up the video, let's talk about Cejudo a little. Coming off a 3-year layoff, Triple C. Obviously, his big bad plan didn't really work out. But how do you guys think Cejudo performed after being off for so long?
Fantastic, honestly. Given the ring rust, I feel like if he was like in his prime or kind of like maybe if he had like a tune-up fight before this and had like some good rounds, I feel like he probably could have still beat Aljo. Probably could
I
have
agree.
more. I feel like he looked a little tentative in the striking department, and you can kind of see like on the numbers, like he didn't really throw as much as Aljo did. Maybe part of that's the range, obviously, but also part of that is definitely just it took him a little longer from my perspective to work his way into his striking rhythm. So, but considering that, like he did admirably well, like went toe to toe with the current champion and almost pulled it out. So at 36, 3 years off, like I gotta tip my hat to him.
Sure.
Yeah, he fought well. I mean, he lost a split decision after a 3-year layoff, so he had a pretty good performance in my opinion. Wish he was a little more aggressive as well. I think at times I think he just had trouble with the range. I think that was just the biggest problem of the fight overall. And Aljo kind of was big for him at times. That slowed Henry down in the fight for sure. But overall, I mean, Henry Cejudo fought well. He's getting to be an old man, 3-year
Yep.
layoff.
I
He
hope
fought.
he's not done. I hope he's not done.
I hope
Well,
he's not
So,
done. But oh, what do
I
you
still
guys?
want to see him. I still want to see him like
well, I was gonna say I don't know if you guys been seeing on Twitter and stuff, but apparently him versus Marab is the next fight. He called out Marab.
Oh, man.
good,
I don't know.
fucking good.
Yeah,
Someone that Marab can't wrestle, fuck. Like, hey, you won't fucking fight Aljo. I hope he loses his fucking title shot. Like, honestly.
I agree, bro. I get it. They have they're close friends, but like it just sucks for fans.
I'm saying I know that Dana White is a spiteful motherfucker, and I know in his heart he wants him to lose the title shot. Every time he's like, "Oh, Marab, I wouldn't do that if I were you." He's like, hint, hint, like he likes to be right in these instances. You know what I mean? And set an
Yeah,
example for future fighters to not do this shit. So like,
I mean, we know why they're not fighting. Ray Longo doesn't want them to fight because they
Clark's favorite
know
coach.
he's scared of Marab. That's why they know Marab's gonna beat him. That's why they won't fight.
It's a bad matchup.
definitely is.
All right. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching our recap on 288. We got more stuff on the way. Make sure to like and subscribe. We'll catch y'all.
Peace.
He's out all.